Hey everybody, it's just me again. I'm out here doing some practicing with a rifle and everything because this year Madison said to me that if I don't come home with a deer, then I better not come home at all. And me and my buddy and my business partner, who's also teaching me about hunting and proper rifle safety and everything, we've been out here practicing shooting and everything, and I'm going to let him show you and tell you what we've been shooting with.
Well, we've been shooting with, I got two 30-06 rifles we've been shooting with, and we've been shooting at this old chemical tank for farming. And we've been letting Robert get one sighted in for his eyesight for later on this year so he can get everything processed so he can hunt with it this fall.
On the shots.
You can see we've been shooting at it a lot, but we've got a consistent shot going through here, and then we've got a couple that we've actually put through the center and kept them in a pretty tight pattern around here. So we should be doing good for this fall to hunt deer, and hopefully we'll be able to get a few.
Now, for all of you out there, we're going to show you a clip of how accurate he is. And he's going to point out here on this target that we've been shooting at, he's going to point out to you guys a spot where he's going to aim at. And we're going to do some video clips of him shooting at the target. So pick your point of...
We're going to shoot that sticker.
All right, we'll find out. And just give you guys an accuracy, we are shooting approximately about 50 yards away, right?
100 yards.
Oh, 100 yards. So that should give you a good idea. So we'll get to it. As you see, this is where we're shooting from, and I just want you guys to see this man shoot. He's been shooting guns and hunting ever since. About how old was you when you first went hunting with your grandfather?
4 or 5.
Yeah, so ever since this man's been about 4 or 5, he's been around rifles and guns, and he's been teaching me a lot, and I just want you guys to see his skills. I'll just give you a bird's eye idea of how far that we are actually talking that we've been shooting from, just so you can see downrange. You saw up the range, but just give you an idea of how far away it really is accurately standing up to our shooting post, or whatever you call it, target. Alright, well, we'll give you a close-up in just a second. Now here we are at the end of the range, and we're going to show you exactly where he hit.
I wasn't quite on my mark, but I was close enough for deer season. And we still got a long time until deer season, so we still might be able to come out and fine tune it some more.
Now, for people that, like me, that, you know, just getting into hunting and learning these skills and everything, you know, top of your head, run the mill, what is some of the fundamentals that people need to really consider whenever they decide to get into hunting, as well as gun safety and everything else?
I'd take a proper gun safety course, go somewhere where they can properly teach you instead of just trying to learn on your own. But learning on your own, a lot of accidents get caused because you don't know exactly what you're doing. When it comes down to hunting, it just depends on what you're hunting. Make sure you know your bag limits, what your allotted to have, what you can use to hunt it with, um, and make sure you're using the proper firearm to hunt with. I mean, you don't want to go out and hunt a small game animal with a high-powered rifle. There won't be anything left of it, and I mean, when it comes down to that, you're just essentially just hunting for the hell of it, and you're not prospering from it, which is what hunting is for prosper. Trophy hunting isn't something that is highly liked. You want to make sure you're hunting for the meat because it's something you can do cheaper to supply food for your family.
And also too, since you've been teaching me on on your own personal grading scale, tell them as you've been teaching me and everything what you know, everything that I've learned. Tell them, put me on a grading scale, let's say, and give them a summary of my conduct and everything else. Really be truthful.
I mean, I'd give you an A for everything because you've really dug in and done your research, and you are devoted. You take your time whenever we're out shooting. You make sure you're as accurate as you can be. Any pointers that are given out, anything you need to adjust, you're willing to listen and to try it and to learn from it. You don't argue or anything like a lot of people would, because a lot of people are going to say, well, it's the gun, it's not me. So I'd give you an A for it.
All right, if you wouldn't mind holding this. Once again, if someone's willing to teach you something and actually take you out into the field of whatever it is you're wanting to learn, give you that hands-on experience, you know, take it in, absorb it in. They're giving you not only a good teaching about the sport itself, but they're teaching you a life lesson and a life survival skill. And you don't have to always agree with something, but remember to have that respect, to listen, keep it to yourself, because later on in life you can always adjust things. But if someone's willing to teach you a skill, take it in, absorb it in. Now, like me, I have a learning disability. Sometimes I process things differently. And along with that, Cody knew that before he actually took me out, taught me how to hunt. Matter of fact, you know, when you're sitting out hunting and everything, you never know what's going to happen. And like one of the first time during bow season was when he first took me out and everything, and I got to learning a little bit, and we were sitting down in like a little ditch area, or what would you call
A
that?
ravine.
A what?
A ravine.
Yeah, we were sitting on the edge of a ravine, and this deer, I say, probably got within 5 feet of me, and I turned the bow and was slowly turning myself around because we was using a crossbow, and I was looking at everywhere I could shoot on that deer. I felt like the way the deer was standing and the way I was, there's no way I was going to able to angle myself to get what I would call what do you call that?
A proper shot.
A proper shot or a good euthanized shot. And he didn't tell me this, but I thought to myself, well, the only good shot I got is if I got in the back of its hip. If it don't bleed out right away, it's going to suffer and die suffering. So without being able to make a humane shot, I'm not going to shoot an animal unless I can do it properly. And that's another thing that you got to remember. It's also about hunting is not just about killing, it's also about the conservation of the animals in your environment, in your area. You want to take care of the place where you're going to be hunting and take care of the animals in which you're hunting. And me being part native and everything, I believe in the spiritual aspect of that too. And so, I believe it was a test from Creator. But afterwards, after it's all said and done, even Cody had looked at me and said, he said, you made a real good decision. And he said, no one really had to tell you nothing. He said, that was your own intuition. You knew that you wasn't going to be able to get a good, clean shot. And he said, that was a great decision made on your behalf and no one had to teach you. He said, you already got that instinct. And that's a good thing. If you can't get a good, clear shot on an animal, don't take the shot, because you could cause more damage than you are at helping. Any other things you want to add in?
Not that I can think of.
Alright guys, I just wanted to do this short little video. I've not done a video in a while, and I wanted to do a video that's going to count for something. You know, we got this whole COVID-19 thing going around. Matter of fact, me and Madison had to take some time off work and everything because on account of some things, you know, due to that. Not really that, but because we just had a cold and everything, and we didn't want to add to the scare or the paranoia that's been going on. So we decided that it was best if we just took a break from work, you know, and what our work allows us to do as far as, you know, self-quarantine and everything. And I'm trying to use this time wisely, and I figure what better way to use it wisely than to take in and home in and absorb and learn more on a skill that I'm wanting to home into, to better support, provide for my family, as well as get familiarized with the weapon I'm going to be using this hunting season. And that's another thing. If you're not familiar with your weapon that you're going to use during the hunting season, and you're not confident with that weapon, well, then you can run into more complications. And anything you can add into that, because I know you told me a few things about that.
Safety turns into a big factor, because if you don't know the weapon, then you don't know the safety aspects behind it.
That's true. Well, anyways, I'm going to end this video, and wherever you're at in this world, may you be blessed. If you're in an area where you are mandatorily being quarantined and everything, you know, I wish the best for you. My prayers go out to you. And if you do have the opportunity to home in on any type of skill, whether it's craft, painting, whatever, or if you got children that are, you know, forced to stay home from school, you know, I just like to say, think upon these things. And if my daughter was older, she'd be right out here with me learning the exact same skills I'm learning. Because as the old saying goes, you can catch a man a fish and feed him for one day, but you teach a man the fish and you fed him for life. So wherever you're at in this world, may be blessed. Till next time.